There's a town just off the Mississippi River called Hartwell, Missouri. You've probably never heard of it. But that's where this story begins, with two brothers, an old scrapyard, and a dream that most people would have laughed off the table. Their names? Jake and Travis Dalton, sons of a pipe fitter and a school lunch lady. No MBA, no seed round, just grit, calloused hands, and a gut full of determination. They didn't want to open a coffee shop. They didn't want to build a lifestyle business. They wanted to build Ironclad Supply, an industrial parts company that would someday supply America's heartland with the stuff that kept factories alive. Bolts, bearings, belts, and brains. That was their play. But there's a difference between showing up and showing up. See, in every field, sports, business, even war, there are four types of people. Some just turn up. They punch the clock. They do the minimum, nod in meetings, and go home to Netflix. Then there are those who show up to compete. They want to win, sure. But mostly they want to look better than the next guy. Then there are the ones who train, who live to win. They work late. They read more. They suffer more. They take the hits and keep moving forward. But every now and then, you meet the fourth kind. The kind who trains to dominate. The kind who doesn't just want the trophy, they want to rewrite the entire rulebook. That's what Jake and Travis became. But it didn't start that way. Their first warehouse was a disused shipping container parked behind an abandoned mill in East St. Louis. It leaked when it rained, froze when it snowed, and you could hear rats fighting at night. At first, they were just showing up, selling nuts and bolts on Craigslist, packing orders in shoe boxes, going to local auctions and buying old factory surplus for pennies. They were surviving, but not thriving. Until one night, about 2:14 a.m., Jake sat up in bed, sweating. Not from fear, from realization. He whispered to himself, "What do we want? Not what can we get away with, not what would make us comfortable, but what do we want?" That was the turning point. From that night forward, everything changed. They didn't just want a warehouse. They wanted a network. They didn't just want orders. They wanted loyal clients who would swear by Ironclad the way Americans used to swear by Craftsman or Levi's. And they were willing to pay the price. How badly do you want it? Every entrepreneur needs to ask this. Because chasing greatness is like signing a contract written in sweat, stress, sacrifice, and silence. No applause. No likes. No retweets. Just cold, hard reps at 6 a.m. when no one's watching. Jake started waking up before dawn. Travis built custom shelving units by hand because they couldn't afford pallets. They cut their own salaries to buy inventory. They gave up weekends. They said no to poker nights, weddings, even Christmas once. Why? Because they weren't training to win. They were training to dominate. And dominate they did. By year 3, Ironclad was supplying over 120 factories across 4 states. Their name meant something. Not because they were flashy, not because they had VC money, but because they showed up every damn day when others wouldn't. Even when Jake was diagnosed with a degenerative nerve condition in his hands, he still came in. He said, "Genetics deals the cards, but I choose how to play the hand." He couldn't tighten bolts anymore. So he started coaching their team, teaching them how to sell, how to empathize, how to grind without complaint. Their team followed suit. One in turn, Mariah, a junior from Kansas State, would go on to become their national accounts manager. She said, "Jake taught me the difference between pain and weakness. See, there are 1,000 excuses, but not one reason not to show up. Everyone says they want it. Few are willing to suffer for it. Discipline, not talent, separates contenders from champions. Even in the NBA and Silicon Valley on Wall Street, it's not always the smartest who win. It's the ones who master their attitude. Because attitude, that's available to everyone. So here's the question for you. What do you want? How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to suffer? If you're just turning up, you'll get just enough. If you're here to win, maybe you'll land a few big contracts. But if you're here to dominate, then understand this. It's not about race day. That's just lights, cameras, and applause. It's about the lonely mornings, the reps no one sees, the pain you hide, and the excuses you bury. It's about stepping into the challenge zone and staying there. Because once you're in that arena, all the world sees is the result. But you will know the truth. You were made for this. You trained for this. You chose to dominate. Be like Jake and Travis. Build your ironclad. And never, ever, let the old version of you back in the room.